I'd like to welcome Russell Watton, all the way from Coleraine, here on the stage now, okay?
Lost all us that boy, but anyway. It's an honour and a privilege to be invited to this Sunday protocol rally in this staunch loyalist town of Markethill. Thank you to the organisers, including my Orange Briar and the Markethill District LOL number 10 and all the loyal orders. I come from the very north of the province, in the town of Sweet Coleraine on the banks of the Bann, and represent the Coleraine Town Ward as a progressive unionist councillor in the Causeway Coast and Glens Borough Council. The present political crisis we find ourselves in can be laid at the feet of many players and blame apportioned accordingly. That will not help us get out of it. It is solutions we need. In 1912, the first action of our noble Lord Carson and Sir James Craig was to organise a unionist convention embracing all shades of loyalism. I use the word loyalism deliberately because Lord Carson's speeches are peppered with it. There is no distinction between loyalism and unionism in his mind, and there should be none now. The convention formulated an overall strategy, a political goal, and a course of action that every loyalist could buy into. Before the Ulster Volunteers Force was formed, before a gun or rifle was brought under the arm, they knew exactly where they were going. Today we have no overall strategy. We have no united voice. We have too many whose main concern is party before country. I believe rallies like this have focused minds and have led to some coming together for the very simple reason that the pro-union people are crying out for it. Some have lectured me recently for supposedly threatening violence, ignoring the fact that Leo Varadkar got his border in the Irish Sea by the implied threat of violence, by going around the capitals of Europe showing the photos of the aftermath of an IRA attack on a border post in the early 70s. He and his pan-nationalist front used the threat of violence to get their way, and that fact should never be lost on us. There are many who blame the Good Friday Agreement. For me, that is now irrelevant, as the Good Friday Agreement, for all intents and purposes, is now null and void. Cross-community consent gone, east-west trade trashed, and pathetic north-south bodies that should be boycotted in their entirety. All of this done without unionist consent, and indeed the principle of consent stood on its head. Why are we in this position when in 1994 the IRA and the whole Republican movement was on its knees pleading for a ceasefire? While many don't like me saying this, particularly as a former UBF life sentence prisoner, the combined loyalist military command militarily helped to defeat militant Irish republicanism, as did the brave members of the security forces.
We'll beat the bastards!
Read the figures for the early 90s, and I will tell you everything you need to know. So we won the war, and we lost the peace, but the situation is retrievable. Every time in our history, when we were united, we won. 1912 to 1914, 1920 to 1922, 1974, 1994. There's an election coming, and only those who are solidly against the protocol are worthy of a vote. Those who want to tinker around the edges and do not agree with the principles of unfettered access within the UK and no jurisdiction over our affairs by a foreign court. Anybody who thinks otherwise should be chased from your doors. I make no bones about it. We are not in a good place. But I remember a famous piece of graffiti on a wall on the Shankill Road in the early 70s, and it read, "We will not forsake the blue skies of Ulster for the grey mist of an Irish Republic." And neither we will, not now or not ever. We must imbue ourselves with the same spirit as the brave 13 apprentice boys who shut the gates when King James and all his rebel band came up the Bishop's Gate, and the cry was, and still remains, "No surrender!"